Good morning, good morning, or good afternoon, or good evening, or good wherever you are joining me from. I am Carol C.C. Miller, your positive life strategist, peace activator, and global hugger, coming to you with another edition of Embrace Your Life, Let's Chat. The intention of all of these conversations are to help heighten your celebrations and lessen your sorrows through a positive focus. I'm here Mondays, Tuesdays, and Thursdays at 11:30 Chicago time, 11:30 a.m. Chicago time. That's what time it is here on this gorgeous fall Monday in Chicago. Let me know where you're joining me from and what's the weather like in your area. I have a sister who is out west, like I think she was in Wyoming, and said that on her way back, she lives in Florida, that it was snowing. So there's all sorts of different weather going on around the world. Right now in Chicago, it is a beautiful, sunny, actually a little bit warm of a day for us this time of year, but I am grateful. So again, join me in the conversation. In the comments and let me know where you're joining me from. Let me know if this is the first time you've joined me so I can welcome you with that as well. And before we get started in today's topic, I like to go over a couple of things just to remind people of and or let them know if you're first timers here with me. And the first one is I am not an absolutist. I'm not a big fan of the words always or never, right or wrong, good or bad, because there's usually a lot of gray area in there that needs to be considered. There are 7 billion people on this planet. I can't begin to say what is always right for 7 billion people or never right for 7 billion people. What I do personally and what I do with my coaching clients is we work on a scale of 0 to 100. 0 being always negative, 100 being always positive. I don't know anybody who's at 0 and I don't know anybody who is at 100. My personal practice is, and the work I do with clients when they're going through challenging situations, is to focus on being in the 80 to 100% the majority of the time. What does that mean? It means fear visits me. It means frustration visits me. It means anger can visit me. Worry, doubt, all of those things can visit me. But because of my daily practices, they don't stay. I have ways to work through them quicker, still feeling what I need to feel, and then move forward into a better feeling place. So that's the first thing. So you may hear me say the word always on occasion. I do still use it because I'm not an always or never person, but I do try to limit myself with it. And again, I go with the majority of the people that I know or things like that. And then the second thing is I'm a coach. I love to coach, mentor, inspire, motivate, all those things with people. It really fills me up to be able to help people move towards and live their dreams. What I am not is I am not a counselor or a therapist. And sometimes when we're going through a certain situation in our life or past trauma, perhaps, or anything that has us feeling less than, that might need a different type of attention as a counselor or therapist can give you, then I highly encourage you to know that you are so worth living your best life, whatever that looks like. So, whether it's me as a coach, mentor, whether it's a dear friend that can help you with something, whether it's a clergy member that you may trust dealing with personal things, or finding the right counselor or therapist for you, I really encourage you to do so so you can move forward in living your best life. I love coaching people and I have a coach mentor myself. So it's really about showing up for yourself in the best possible way. And generally, for me anyway, having somebody else to walk through the journey with has been very helpful for me. So those are the two things I like to remind people of. Majority of time here we're talking, so something I may say in this conversation or a past conversation may not be true for you, and that's okay. Let it go. It's about thinking about different ways on heightening your celebrations and lessening your sorrows. So today's topic, let me check in really quick with comments. Please ask questions there, or if you have another topic you would like me to cover another day, that would be fantastic too. I just don't stay in the comments that long at the beginning because then I'll just sit here and chat with you and not cover the topic. So I'll come in and say hi, and then after I'm done with the topic, I'll come back and see if you have any questions. I hope that I'm saying your name correctly. Welcome, Mawin. Lisa, good to see you. Amendi, good to see you. Can you help me get a work contract in America? I do not have, that is not my skill set, so I do not know how to go about that. Um, I really don't have any information on that. I'm sorry. I wish I could help you with that. I'm sure Googling some opportunities and seeing the process would help, but I do not know how that works. I apologize for that. But today's conversation, we are going to talk about one of my favorite words is focus. So if you're new here, what I like to do is sometimes I have guests, sometimes I have a panel to discuss different things. But generally speaking, when I'm here solo, I like to pick a word to focus on, focus, and then I go through the definition, come up with some affirmations, which we'll go through, and then some tips on how to use that word to as part of your daily practice of living your best life. So today's word again is focus, and the definition is I wrote it down here. The definition, a subject that is being discussed or studied, a main purpose of interest. So again, the definition is a subject that is being discussed or studied or a main purpose of interest. So, where's your focus right now? Like I call my work Positive Focus. That's a nonprofit I created back in 2009. And the reason is because it's easy to focus on what we don't want in our lives. It's easy to focus on the hardships and the tragedy and the injustice that's going around, possibly in our own life or in the world. But it's about bringing love, kindness, compassion, and peace, which is for me the umbrella wrapping of all those four words is positive. So it's to focus on what we do want rather than we don't want. Again, what I talked about at the beginning of this call was the fact that even though I'm the majority of the time focused on love, kindness, compassion, peace, positivity, happiness, all of those things, I still have moments of frustration or anger or disappointment. So when I'm aware of those things, then I can shift back into what I want to focus on rather than what I don't want to focus on. So again, the definition is a subject that is being discussed or studied, a main purpose of interest. So when we're focusing on what we don't want in our life, what we get angry about in our life, what we're afraid of in our life, we are giving that attention and the energy to grow. It doesn't mean it's wrong to focus on what we don't want because it's actually pretty normal, especially if it's right in front of you and you're going through a hard time right now. It's really easy to give our focus to the don't wants, to the disappointments, to the sadness, to the frustration. But the more that we focus on it from that space, then we're giving it that space to grow. So, affirmations. I'm a big believer in affirming what we do want rather than what we don't want. And if you're new to affirmations, it's just a statement. It's not a positive statement or a negative statement. It's you can say, I am not very smart. That is an affirmation. It's not a positive one, but it is an affirmation. Or you can say, I am very smart, and that would be a positive affirmation. However, if you say, I am very smart, and immediately think, no, I'm not, an hour ago I did something really dumb, then you're negating it already. So you want to make your affirmations believable or a little stretch from where you are. But if you immediately say, no, I'm not, then you're going to want to do something to either one, change it up completely, which is totally fine, or add the term, I am in the process of feeling very smart. I'm in the process of feeling loved, or anything that you need to make it believable for yourself. Because if you're saying, I am very smart, which is a positive statement. But if you immediately say, no, I'm not, then that positive statement isn't positive for you. So I hope that makes sense. So the affirmation, I got a few different ones to choose from today. So it's again about focus. So I choose to focus on my talents. I choose to focus on solutions. I choose to focus on kindness. I choose to focus on love. I choose to focus on compassion. I choose to focus on peace. I choose to focus on seeing the best in myself. I choose to focus on seeing the best in others. I choose to focus on remaining calm during the chaos. And so just pick something that you're going to be able to use when your focus starts moving towards what you don't want, you can come back into your affirmation and affirm what you do want. I choose to focus on, because I promise you, any given day, you have the ability to focus on all the wrongs in your life, all the wrongs in the world, all the wrongs in your day, and you have the ability to focus on what is working today, what is right in your life, and what is right in the world. I do want to make sure, especially for newbies, if you've been with me for a while, you know what's coming next. It does not mean about pretending your life is perfect or the world is perfect. The more it is about bringing love, kindness, compassion to the imperfection. It's about being kind to yourself, even when you're feeling less than. It's about seeing the challenges in the world and in your own life from a solutions base rather than a blame, shame, complain base. When we're focusing on what we don't want, we often go into blame, shame, or complaint about it rather than, okay, this doesn't feel good. How can I make it feel a little bit better? And go into solutions mode instead of the staying stuck in the energy of the don't want. We all have things going on in our life of don't wants. My life is by no means perfect. I love my life and I focus on solutions more than I focus on problems. Sometimes the problems get my attention for longer than I want because I'm not paying attention. And then I start stepping forward into feeling just a little bit better. So use your affirmations for that. And the tips I'm going to give you today are kind of ones that I give pretty much all the time. But I think, again, the point is a daily practice. I am able to be in the majority of time positive, loving, kind, and compassionate, peaceful, because I've made it a daily practice for years. Does not mean I'm positive all the time. I'm certainly not even positive 100% of the day. I am positive the majority of the day, and I catch myself quicker when I'm letting negative experiences, or it's often negative self talk, to be honest with you, when I go into my own, you can't do that, you shouldn't do that, you don't have this or whatever. So it's when you're aware of how you feel, is when you can make those adjustments from there. So that's the first tip, is to be aware of how you feel. If you notice you are giving your attention to the don't wants, you're aware of the fact that you've started your day thinking about all the things that you don't want to happen or all the things that have happened that you don't want to think about, then you're giving your attention to the don't want. Your awareness allows you to shift it into what you do want. I really encourage you, when you're aware of your negative thinking, your negative judgment, your negative anything, is to not beat yourself up over it. It's just there telling you that your focus is off. It's not saying you're wrong. It's not saying you're bad. It's not saying you don't know what you're doing, but it is saying you're giving your attention to the don't wants more than the do wants. The don't wants want to be heard. It's something within you that maybe it's something from childhood that's being triggered that makes you feel less than. There's several different reasons that you could be focused on the don't wants. And the don't wants aren't bad. It's just, how do you want to feel? And if the don't wants have you feeling poorly, then step into feeling a little bit better. Through awareness is when you can adjust and make changes. If you're on autopilot and just going about your day on autopilot and kind of numb, life is living you. You are not living life. And then the tip two is, when you catch yourself really giving more of your attention to what you don't want, to the fear, to the worry, to the doubt, to the frustration or anger, to take some deep breaths and to recenter yourself. Because when we get into that feeling of fear, that feeling of frustration or anger, we tend to limit, and taking shallower breaths. So we're not giving our brains and our hearts the oxygen it needs to help us make better decisions. So I encourage you to do that as well. And then the third one is to stay present. And what does present mean? A lot of times, not always, again, I'm not an always or never person, but a lot of times our frustration is about the future or the past. The fear is the future or the past. It's really in this moment. The majority of us are okay in this moment. Certainly, there are people that are going through right now fearful experiences, natural disasters, man made disasters, all kinds of things are happening in this world right now. For certain people to actually be in a moment of true fear, of a true worry, sadness kinds of things. But the majority of us, our fears, our worries, our frustrations are futuristic or past. So the more that you can stay in the present right now, when your mind starts telling you of all the things you don't want or the feelings you don't want, to stay right here in the present, practice the awareness, practice the breathing, and know in this very moment I am okay. Don't think about tomorrow, what's going on tomorrow, or a month from now, or what happened 6 months ago. It's about being present with where you are right here today. And again, use your affirmation, whatever one is feels good to you. I choose to be in peace. I choose to focus on peace. I choose to focus on love. I choose to focus on forgiveness. Whatever it is that you're feeling less than, choose how you're going to focus on it. Don't beat yourself up over it when you're focused on what you don't want, because it's going to happen. I still focus on what I don't want on occasion, but because of my daily practices, I don't stay there nearly as long. I absolutely get frustrated with things and it doesn't feel good to me. So I go back to focusing on what does feel better. It's really funny to me because I call it positive focus. And my coach and mentor, I always tell her, I'm like, I have a positive focus, but I'm positively focused on 10 different things at once. So, really, for me, even though positive focus is what I'm about, I still need to rein in my own focus to focus on one or two things at a time instead of being scattered all over the place. So please know, whatever I share here with you, the vast majority of it is things that I either dealing with, have gone through, and I'm now on the other side of, and I continue to practice with. And then I was looking for some different suggestions of things that I've not personally done, but I think this one would be beneficial. I've just not done it. So I just want to make sure you're aware of that before I share it. And that is to set aside a time of your day. I don't care. I would encourage you not to do it close to bedtime. So maybe late afternoon. Set aside a time of your day, and that I don't know what you want to call it. Your fear time, your frustration, your time, your don't want time. Maybe call it, this is my don't want time. And for 15 minutes, a half an hour, you're going to give your attention to those don't wants. But before that 4 o'clock time happens, when fear visits you, and it probably will, you're going to write it down. Like, I don't have time for you right now. I will talk to you at 4 o'clock. So, whatever your list is at 4 o'clock, and I'm just using 4 o'clock as an example, you choose what's best for you. But I really would encourage you not to do this practice right before bed, because you want to take gratitude, appreciation, gentleness, and kindness into your sleeping hours. But so write it down, and then when it's your don't want time, look at that list. Some of it may be now that it's gone, like it was just a thought that popped in, but because you didn't give it the attention to grow then, you're looking at it now and it doesn't really impact you now because it was just a fleeting thought. That's okay. Those are the easy ones. Let it go. And then the ones that you still like that have that feeling come up when you go back and visit that, feel what you need to feel and then release it from there. It may be something that's big enough that's going to take a few days to feel it and release it. It may go away for a little bit and then it may come back. It's not about, it's kind of like they talk about the peeling back the onion, and there's all sorts of layers to all of us. So it's not about being right or wrong about it, but it is about feeling it, giving it the space to be heard because it wants to be heard. It doesn't want to be shoved away and pretend it doesn't exist. So the more that you acknowledge that it is a true feeling you're having, nobody can tell you how to feel. Those are your own experiences. Other people may say they're wrong. People may say that your feelings are too sensitive or whatever, but they don't get to decide how you feel. That is how you get to decide. And the more you focus on giving attention and knowing, kind of being kind to yourself as if these fears that are showing up is like your small inner child. And how would you talk to a 3, a 5, a 7-year old who is telling you that they're scared right now? You probably wouldn't beat them up over it and you would give them some compassion. So after you've gone through that list, I want you to be compassionate with yourself, that you are aware of those feelings, that you know they exist. They aren't wrong feelings, but you don't want to give them the control over you. You can experience them, you can witness them, you can observe them rather than absorb them. and move forward from there. So that tip I would love it if you do try that tip to let me know if that releases some of those stressful feelings or the focusing on what you don't want. Again, I've not done that one before, but when I read up about it, I'm like, that sounds like a really interesting way to go about it because you're still acknowledging your fears, but you're not acknowledging it every time it comes up through the day. You're like, okay, it's like you're giving yourself the don't want meeting time. And maybe you do it if once a day, maybe you do it a couple of times a week. You get to decide how that's going to work for you. But it sounds like a really good tool to me to be able to kind of park those feelings while still acknowledging them. The whole intention behind this is to help heighten your celebrations and lessen your sorrows. So if these tips are not helpful to you, let them go. So again, today's word is focus. The definition, a subject that is being discussed or studied, a main purpose or interest. And then some affirmations to choose from. And when I talk about affirmations, there's a couple of things you can do. Um, you can write them down and read them. You can speak them out loud. I tend to like, if you see back here, some of my sticky notes, I love my sticky notes. Some of them are things I'm working on. Some of them are affirmations. Some of them are things that I'm dreaming about. There's a whole bunch of things going on behind me. Some of them are my mentors, that people that I admire that I would like to emulate as well. But I put my affirmations like my top 5 and I'll put them in different places so I see them because I don't always remember to necessarily say them out loud all the time. And all of them are good ways to just keep them in your mind. Like now I know what they're behind me. So even if I don't even look at them, I know they're right there in my awareness because I've been practicing them for so long. So do what's going to work for you to alleviate the focusing on what you don't want. It is a practice. It's a daily practice. And the more you practice, the easier it is to not stay in that space to the don't wants. You're probably still going to visit, but you're not going to give them the power to take over. And if you're going through a really challenging time, I encourage you to give yourself a little grace through that experience too, because your daily practices, it might take longer if you're going through something really big right now. It does not make you a bad person. It does not make you a wrong person to focus on what you don't want. Kind of makes you a human person, honestly. But the more that you give yourself the not acknowledgement of those feelings, the more that you give yourself compassion for those feelings rather than beating yourself up over having negative thoughts. I forget what they said, like over 6,000, I believe it's 6,000, don't quote me on that, thoughts we have a day. And probably the majority of them are negative, but be gentle with yourself as you practice ways to step into your best life, not your friend's best life, not your colleague's best life or your boss's best life, what your best life looks like. And it looks different for all of us. So, whatever you can do to bring a little bit more love, kindness, compassion, and peace to your life is what I am here to do. Because I promise you, the more you feel good about yourself, the more you feel worthy about yourself, the more you feel peaceful about yourself, it's just that much easier to offer that peace, that worthiness, and love and compassion to others as well. So, the tips again are to be aware, breathe when you're giving your focus to what you don't want, to step back into what you do want, stay present, know that most likely the majority of you, I'm not going to say all of you, but I am going to say the people who are watching right now, for them to even be on the internet right now watching my video means most likely that you are not in harm's way at this moment. So being present of being okay, like right in this moment, I am okay. Right in this moment, I am at peace. Right at this moment, I know that I can choose to how to feel. Right in this moment, I can observe my fearful thoughts rather than absorb my fearful thoughts. Right in this moment, I am going to choose how to step forward into feeling a little bit better. And right in this moment, I'm not going to beat myself up over if this is a hard process to do because I'm doing the best that I can with what I have right now. So those are the tips for today. The word is focus. I will be back tomorrow with Paul Savagno, and we're going to be talking about he comes to visit the second Tuesdays of each month, and we talk about the work of Byron Katie. And it's about focusing on, or inquiring, I should say, on our stressful thoughts. It's a 4-question process to help you move through your stressful thoughts into a more peaceful, calm state of mind. It's a powerful tool. Again, the more you practice it, the easier it becomes. And then on Thursday, Shauna Fisher is joining, and she is an animal communicator. So if you have any animal loves in your life that you have questions about, whether they're here today or uh, cross the Rainbow Bridge, come join us on Thursday so you can ask her questions about your furry, feathered, or hide. I don't know all the different types of animal opportunities that are out there, but come and bring your questions for her and she will be happy to answer them. So that's what we have for the rest of the week. Let me check in comments and see if there's any questions. Um, I just Hi, Sylvia. Good to see you. Michelle, I don't know if you have tagged somebody in there or not. I'm not quite sure what the name of the person that you've added in there. Maybe it's to tag someone. So I don't see any questions being asked right now, but please, if you have questions, I will come back and check on this live later in the day and I'll answer what I can, or I will add it to another Embrace Your Life chat on a Monday, Tuesday, or Thursday coming up. The rest of this week is covered. Again, we're talking about stressful thoughts and how to release them, and then animal communication on Thursday. But I really love it when the community brings up some topics that they would like me to bring a little bit more love, kindness, compassion, and peace to. If it's something I am comfortable discussing, I will. There are certainly topics out there like Imani um, Mindy brought up today that I have no knowledge on. So I don't feel comfortable talking about it, so I'm not going to address those. But if I'm able to help bring a little bit more love, kindness, compassion, and peace to the conversation, I am happy to do so. So go out there today, practice focus, know that when things are not going the way you want and you're giving it attention, that's normal, that's natural, and it's okay. But when you start paying attention to how it feels and you know it doesn't feel good, then start focusing a little bit more towards what you do want. Use your not want as a barometer to show you that you're focused on what you don't want more than what you're focused on what you do want. It's not a right or a wrong. It's just where do you want to be? Where do you want to go? And how do you want to feel? So that's what I got for you today. Have a wonderful rest of your day and start to the week. And remember, you matter. You matter to me. You matter to the world. And most importantly, you matter to you. We'll talk again soon, tomorrow, in fact. So have a great day. So long for now.